Hello, and welcome to the Anything Goes Show, hosted by Marilyn Jane Doe. This is episode 1, Everything is Connected. I don't like small talk, so let's get to the meat and potatoes. I am an autistic anarchist artist. I like alliteration and honesty, depth and authenticity. I am both the student and teacher, loud and quiet, everything and nothing. The reason I've decided on Anything Goes as a title for this podcast is that there is simply too vast of a pool of knowledge to limit myself to one thing. And since everything is connected, why not bring it all together through these different lenses? I am the Jane of all trades, master of none, but often better than master of one. I hope you've come with an open mind, a softened heart, for our adventure is about to begin. Since this is the first episode, I figured we would start off with a bang, and our topics of discussion include, but are not limited to, time, consciousness, intention, authenticity, spirituality, analog, and perspective change. Follow me. The hourglass is a physical representation of the concept of time. 15 minutes for us in agonizing pain or boredom feels like forever, but 15 minutes doing your favorite thing, well, flies by. Let's really feel a minute in silence first, and then we can feel what 15 minutes with me sounds like, feels like. Deal? Deal. Let's begin now. I think that about marks it. What did you think about? Did you have no thoughts at all? Did it feel fast or did it feel slow? Did it feel boring or meaningful? Did you question the purpose of it or break it entirely? Let's start our 15-minute timer. Perception is everything. How we interpret the raw data of the world through our many lenses determines how we see an objective truth like silence. The context in which I did it also makes a difference on perception. I'm not your parent saying be quiet or a teacher stifling you. I didn't threaten, and usually YouTube is full of noise, not silence. But if somehow I convinced you to participate, then 1, you have cognitive flexibility, and 2, you were willing to listen to someone, or rather not listen, because something in you yielded to the power of someone else's suggestion. I not only altered your perception of time, but yourself. But going back to the beginning, I used a sand timer, a silent method of observing time that has no bias or perception. I chose this method of keeping time for multiple reasons. As aforementioned, it's silent, but more importantly, it is analog. In the world of tech and rapid growth, it's essential to understand the value of a slow, detached form of life. You stop being a product of your environment and start shaping your world in silence from the inside out, choosing why and what you do because you know how it affects you. Sitting in silence and stillness for your nervous system, doing yoga, drinking water, journaling, etc. Your consciousness is where all of life stems from, and when you operate unconsciously your whole life, you can become run by the programming set out for you, always consuming, on to the next thing without digestion. When you slow down enough to notice the patterns, you can break them. You can get off autopilot and live authentically. It becomes possible to now live for yourself and what you really want, which you first have to figure out what you really want. And that can be kind of painful. I find that when you lose yourself, you really have nothing left to lose. Because if all your relationships are built on a false premise of who you are, nothing in your life is aligned. I'm partial to this term spirituality, and anything and everything can be and is spiritual. To me, that just means that you are acting from your spirit and your highest self. You are in alignment. It really just means that what you know aligns with what you think, which aligns with what you speak, which aligns with what you do. Your body and mind are on the same page about your beliefs and wants and needs. Everything is so complicated and yet so simple at the same time. And life is full of those juxtapositions. I will showcase another one for you. This video was scripted until here, so now it's a free form, baby. We've still got the majority of 15 minutes to discuss. So I gotta think of something good. This is my beautiful home. Welcome to my beautiful home. I lived in a lot of homes before this one that weren't really homes to me. And I could not be more grateful to be in this place, doing what I'm doing, with the person that's behind the camera helping me. And none of this would have been possible that I'm living on my own in my own house with my own car at 21, without perspective change, without changing my consciousness and becoming someone that I knew could expand rather than contract. Because the world we live in, some parts of the world that we live in, want to tell us that that's what we have to do, that we have to make ourselves smaller, that we have to shrink who we are, and that we have to speak less. Don't speak about that. Don't speak about that to those people. Don't speak to those people. Don't wear that. You could probably think of a trillion things yourself, but I don't want to put focus on that. I want to put focus on what you can do instead, because I've got free will, and I've got autonomy, and I can do whatever the fuck I want. And so do you, and everybody does, but we've forgotten that. And I think it's time that we start remembering that. So to remind people that we have autonomy, you also spilled your drink. Well, first we're gonna clean it up. I went and bought a paper towel rack specifically for this with my autonomy. I figured it was the perfect place for one, and boy was I right. Oh, you never know when you might need a paper towel. And it missed my white blanket. Sweet. Life is good. And this gave me something to talk about. I've been cleaning up other people's messes for the majority of my life. No offense to you. He just rolled his eyes. It is what it is. But it's taught me a lot of things. Namely that I want to clean my messes before they become somebody else's problem. That's why my home looks like it does. That's why I look like I do. Because I've been many people. I've been many, many, many people, and I prefer this version. Being clean, having a clean home feels better. It really does. Being able to walk on a floor without shoes on and knowing that I don't have to wipe my feet off because there's not going to be dirt on it, that's a phenomenal feeling. This is the first place I've ever lived in that I've been able to do that. So I'm going to keep that luxury, and I'm gonna, even though it's, it requires effort to clean this floor, I would rather put in the effort for something I care about than something I didn't care about, because we're always expending effort no matter what we do. So it's about putting it on what you actually care about. We're always going to struggle in life. It's about struggling for what you care about. And doing this also makes me better at squats. And that's a skill I'm going to need in life. I don't know why, but it's a skill that I know I'm going to need in life. I have a deep-rooted feeling that I'm going to need that skill. Who knows? Maybe it's going to keep me limber when I'm really old. I'm sure that's a great added health benefit. But I get the feeling that it's for something else. I get the feeling that I'm going to do great things, that I'm going to be performing on stages around the world, and I'm going to need my flexibility, cognitively and physically. I also have coasters. I also have a broken mirror, which some of my coasters are mirrors, so it's basically the same thing, and you can just... That's this new home. That area's a bit of a mess, it's okay. We're gonna throw this away in the bathroom trash for one specific reason. The bathroom trash I just replaced the other day, it was SpongeBob. It was a SpongeBob trash can, which I loved, and it served a purpose. I still love SpongeBob. That was one of the only shows I was allowed to watch growing up. And recently, I went and bought a nice wooden one. So I'm really appreciating the upgrades. And I bought it at one of those like good stuff for cheap stores, so it was like $5. And inside of it is the Italian and English word for garbage. So that every time I change my garbage, I can see spazzatura. Spazzatura. I may not be able to pronounce it perfectly, but if I look at that every day and I practice it every day, or how often I change the trash, it's also on every single one of my other trash cans. If I learn the objects that are around me and the ones I use every day, instead of trying to learn grandiose things or learning how to say, can I have a latte? I don't drink lattes. And fuck Duolingo. There are better ways to learn languages. I don't know what they are, but I'm figuring them out because I've used Duolingo, and guess what? How many languages do I know other than English? None. So, I'm putting these around my house because it's practical. And also, I like these hearts because you can see that the English and Italian word have the same first letter, and it's easier to see the similarities when you have them in this kind of branching format. Pianta, that one I can do easily. Plant, pianta. We've also got borse for purses, and bracali, I think, for bracelets. They're in here also. And specchio is on all of my mirrors. That was the very first one I did. Felt like mirror was going to be an important word. I don't know why, but mirrors hold a very significant role that I think we forget, especially in the age of cameras and everything. I'm going to get my hourglass because I tend to talk and forget about time. Hey, we're only about halfway there. Cool. I've still got time to talk about lots of shit. Oh my god, I love talking. These shoes straps don't like to stay on my feet if I'm wearing socks, but I don't like wearing them without socks because it hurts my feet, so it's a weird dilemma. But yeah, mirrors, specchio. And in the closet, here we've got our zaini, backpacks, bracali, bracelets, borse, purses, and shoes, scarpe. Those are my ugly shoes, but we've got, check these out. These are really nice. These are really nice scarpe. And they've even got the little socks that go with them. These are one of my favorite pairs of shoes. I can't remember what they're called at the moment. It might come to me, but yeah, I love these. I'm trying to figure out a place in my home where I can put them on display, because obviously they deserve to be on display. They're fucking gorgeous. And they don't fit my feet, so I'm not going to wear them. Maybe we'll find a place in this video. I'll leave them out as a visual reminder. I'm also going to put my skates up. I was going to skate. Maybe I should skate. Yeah, I think I'll skate. Another fun thing about this house, it being my first house and all, it was the perfect first house because the person who lived here before was a crackhead, so anything I painted on the walls in comparison was going to be beautiful because I'm an artist and intrinsically I like beauty. And the landlord also knew me. It's a whole thing, but this is the best first house I could have asked for because it's not a perfect house. There was already a bunch of scratches on the floor and the paint isn't perfect, and that lady had like punched holes in the walls and stuff before I got here. Like, so anything I do in comparison is going to be great. They're going to love it. So if my home looks like this, I know they're going to be super grateful. But also it has no doors, as you can see. So I can skate through it. I actually taught myself how to backward skate in this house. I used to love going to skate with my grandma whenever I would visit her. She's like 2 hours away, so I don't see her very often. But of course, back then, I was really scared to try backward skating, and we knew this one guy from church that we would go after church. And she knew this one guy who had been literally skating his entire life. I think he was like 70. And he was like really good. He knew all the tricks, like he could backward skate. And I was always in awe, thinking like I could never do that. And like now I can backward skate. And it's like not even that hard. It's just a little bit of dedication. And also I'm an even better skater because of the way that my house is set up, because this is a grate on the floor that I can't move. so I have to skate around it, which teaches me like perimeters and how to like be able to just navigate more effectively. And because it's a small confined space, I have to learn how to work slowly. And if I can master skills working slowly, that's much harder than doing them really fast, because that comes with time. But doing them slowly requires like muscular precision. You have to be, it's like push-ups. If you do 10 really fast push-ups, that's not the same as 10 really slow push-ups. 10 really slow push-ups are going to give you more burn. It's a slower burn, and the muscles are working harder. So anyway, all that to say, I taught myself how to skate in this house. It's a beautiful house. I'm really grateful to be here. And I've also taught myself how to tap dance. Maybe we're going to tap dance too. Basically shoes. I guess I like really fun, funky shoes. I like shoes that can be hobbies. I think it should be a category of shoes. Because we've got sneakers and we've got high heels and we've got all this other shit. But like, what about... I've made a few upgrades since that video. And also, my camera fucked up and we didn't realize. And so, sorry you don't get to see me skate. But I will have skating videos in the future. So, here's my beautiful, beautiful mirror I've added lights to. That's my oven going off. And I wanted to show this lamp because I got this lamp for free. The wires were busted, so I just cut them off and added those in. But oh my god, it's gorgeous! Oh my god. And yeah. So another juxtaposition for you is the fact that previously I was recording with somebody else's help, and now I'm doing it alone. Thank you for spending this time with me. This part is also freeform. I didn't realize, I mean, that script that I wrote was, I feel pretty in-depth and connected, and I thought it was going to take longer than it did, I'm not going to lie. And for some reason, it's a lot easier to make up shit and just talk on the spot than it is to actually script it out and write it out, because then you have to time the performance, and the performance is dictated by your cadence and the speed at which you talk. And I dropped some rice on the floor. So there's no telling that something that does take 15 minutes usually will always take 15 minutes, because I've written some songs and then went and performed them, and I watched back the recording of me performing it, and I was a little bit nervous. My heart was racing, and so I rushed the song a little bit. So timing a script is hard. People who have that skill are impressive, honestly. And some other changes that have been made. I bought a microphone and a ring light, so now you can not only see me better, but hear me better. Here's my salmon bowl. And after I finish preparing my lunch for the day, I am going to go apply to an antique store. I also really have to pee, which I was told by the guy who was helping me record that when you have to pee, it sends the same signals in your brain, or it activates the same part of your brain that lights up when you're lying, which is crazy, which is absolutely crazy. But thank you so much for watching. I've been postponing putting this out because I had to record this bit at the end, and I've been so nervous to post my first podcast episode, but it's basically just like all my other YouTube videos. It's just me fucking talking. So thank you for coming to the Anything Goes show hosted by Marilyn Jane Doe. This was episode 1, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Ciao, bello.